Just kidding.
What's up? Welcome to Hearth and Hammer. All the Hillbillies in the house. Thank you for joining with the Dr. Heels raid. Dr. Heels has a new schedule, and he is bringing the crew with him to D&D tonight. So we're very thankful for you all joining us. So thank you. Hit that follow button, and you will know when we go live if you're not in a raid with Dr. Heels. So, but yeah, sit back and relax. We are going to have a good time this evening, and we are glad that you're here. For everyone else, thank you for joining us. We are Hearth and Hammer. We are a family-friendly D&D show. And whether you're watching us live, whether you check it out on the YouTube or you listen to the podcast, we are happy that you're here with us, and we hope that you enjoy it as well. Tonight, we are in episode 27 of our main campaign tonight. So 27, guys. 27. Jeez. We're coming up on the big 3-0.
How many months has it been? That was my question the other day.
So it has been 8 months.
Oh my goodness, we passed our 6-month mark. Congrats, guys.
Yes, because we started at the end of December.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 2020 venture. And so, but we...
And in 8 months, we've run 3 different campaigns.
Yeah. Well, not a full 3 campaigns. This is our main one. We're on episode 27. Mm-hmm. And Citizen Prayer, I don't know how you weren't following us, man, but thank you for following us.
Some people.
And then we have started our Adventures campaign on the Menagerie Coast. And then we've started Jeff had his as well. His first crack at being a DM, which he did very well.
It went.
Until me and Rowan decide to blow that thing up.
That's okay. But we are, and now he is running his own campaign for Reborn and his friends at home, which is awesome.
It is an awesome campaign too.
I'm so excited that Jeff is doing that because it's so fun. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, honestly, we've got 7 people. So your guys getting me and Jeff in this little group and actually getting us started has pretty much brought all of our families and people from our church have come over. We've got youth from our youth group joining us. We've got their parents. We've got our wives, my kid. Like they're all in there. We're having a blast at the table. We all get to pick on Jeff. It's no different than tonight.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I get to one-shot their tank. It's great.
So on average, awesome. how many dice goblins have I inadvertently created?
Oh, no. My wife my wife has I
officially have a dice brand, okay?
Oh, yes.
She bought us this big box right now.
Yeah.
She has, I have to fill it, but then
we've created monsters.
She goes, I don't have enough. I have to get more dice. I was like, oh.
That's perfect.
This is $100 pressure pot that I've created just to print dice with.
That's fantastic. That's honestly why I haven't done it yet. It's because it's $100.
Yeah, I know. I have a tendency to go a little too strong at things.
No, it's great.
Here we are.
It's great. Well, again, thank you all for joining us on the raid. If you missed our last episodes, you can go check out the campaign in full on YouTube. There's a link in the description. I think you can also type !YouTube or !YT. I can't remember. Yes, you can also follow all of the cast members there at the fantastic links. And so we've got that. But we are, of course, always live, mostly, around 9 p.m. Tuesday nights. Central Time. So please join us there at twitch.tv/hearthandhammer. You can also find the podcast links at anchor.fm/hearthandhammer as well. Also, our fantastic music and sound effects are by monumentstudios.net. If you guys need, I know a bunch of you people who follow Jeff, Dr. Heels, and all the people here, if you need 100% royalty-free music and sound effects, whether it's for D&D or for videos or sci-fi or whatever, Monument Studios is incredible. It's amazing. You should check it out. monumentstudios.net. They have their all-in bundle. It's like 70% off. It's like, I don't know, 10, 12 gig of music and sound effects for like $30. So,
Awesome.
so yeah. Well, hey, with that, oh, also, you notice if you're watching the VOD, you know, Rowan, aka Austin, there, he's looking sharp, as always, as my two dogs. So,
Hey, he's not here? I could have swore that was a picture of him.
hopefully he'll be joining us after the break, but we'll see.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Sit back, join us by the hearth as we forge a new adventure. All right. So, last time on Hearth and Hammer, the heroes rested in a forest glade outside of the secret tunnel exit. Jace was cured of his paralytic poison, and the party recovered before returning to the underground bunker to investigate the interior of their trapped tunnel. Upon returning to the basement, the crew discovered manifests and documents providing evidence of the extent of the smuggling operation within Hupperduke. Most parties involved now taken care of, only the Drow ambassador Ishal and his kobold minions having escaped. The collapsed tunnel in the Hero's Haven, suspected of being the likely vector for that escape. Returning to the house proper, Rowan found a small box of bathing salts the others had missed, and Theoden wore the pink feather hat out as they left to report their discoveries. The smuggled documents were returned to the Starosta of the city, and the matter seemed resolved as the heroes returned to the Hearth and Hammer before heading to their haven. Wiltix identified Theoden's hat as non-magical, but the feather turned out to be a single-use feather token. The heroes then returned to their home, asking for their foreman and inquiring on having him start excavation of the collapsed tunnel so they might defend and discover what lies beyond. Heroes of Hupperduke, what are you doing? We'll say you have had a long rest because you did return home.
Right.
And it is now the next day. Any immediate things you wanted to do?
Per the usual, Jace woke up to pray, and now he's probably had coffee.
Okay.
I do believe Lee is supposed to guide us to the library of the Cobalt Soul.
I believe
Yes.
so.
So, before we do that, I should have finished. I think I only had like 2 hours left.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing I would have had time to finish that.
Yeah,
and
I
then
think you would have had time to finish that.
Am have calligrapher supplies, and I'm proficient in them. And so Rowan has, I talked to Austin, he has some sort of, I don't remember exactly what it is, but he had like a crest or some sort of emblem that he has on his gear. So I'm going to do my best to just recreate that on the sling of the gun, or the gun sling. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You could roll an intelligence check. I'll give you advantage.
All right. Just straight intelligence, nothing else added to it.
That's a
Yeah, straight
5.
intelligence.
That's a 9.
Oh.
Okay. So you do your best to remember his family crest, or the what you think is his family crest, the crest that you've seen on his armor, and you begin working on it. And roll now roll a dexterity check with advantage since you have proficiency in the calligraphy tools.
Do I get to add my proficiency bonus to it or no?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay. So the first one was much better. That is going to be a 23.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
So your crest that you're pretty sure is spot on looks exactly the way that you wanted it to look.
Awesome.
So,
So I'm gonna put it away and keep it for when I feel the right time is.
that's
For now.
good. Good. Okay. So you all wake up. You're refreshed. Once again, a firm, solid night's sleep in your haven above the cliffs of Hupperduke. You see, easily you can get breakfast at the kitchen.
Of
Theoden,
course, gotta check out G&G.
yeah. Your boys, the cooks, they are firing up. Just again, they've just outdone themselves with these big, fluffy, round, like cakes, but they're flat and they're like the size of your face. And they've got different kinds of jams and syrups, and there's,
I bet they made them in a pan, didn't they?
They might have actually, and then they've got the just all of the smoked pork and bacon there, and of course eggs, and obviously coffee for those that want it. Theoden's got his morning ale.
Of course,
Yes.
nothing
For the
finer.
morning.
So,
Right.
Rowan stumbles out of his plush room wearing you don't know what kind of sleeping garb that is just silken with embroidered highlights all over it, kind of red and black, if you will. Looking very sharp. You don't really know where he got them, especially considering the previous owner of that fine bedroom that is his was a gnome. So he comes out, gets his coffee, and it's kind of like, just kind of sits down, a little quiet this morning. What are you guys doing?
Can I see or hear that Kellen has started anything on the tunnel yet? I know it's been like one night's sleep, but
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said, can I see or hear if Kellen's started or done anything on the tunnel yet? I know it's only been like one night, but I don't know if he.
So you wake up pretty early normally.
Yeah.
So if you do you go outside or do you go into like the kind of garden area?
I would have went to the garden area to have like just
Okay.
a prayer moment.
Okay. I would say that since you didn't go out of the exit, you wouldn't have seen him come in. But by the time you go to the kitchen, you do hear through the tunnel some distant sounds of working. Do you head in that direction?
Yeah,
Okay.
I head in that direction.
All right. You stop in front of. You know what? We should show everyone the map.
Indeed.
The map.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's the hero's haven.
It is.
It
I
is.
mean, it must be on screen.
It's been a while. It's been too long.
It has.
Let's see.
This thing's gonna become my backdrop to my computer.
I gave you the high resolution.
Oh, I
image.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Just
I
making
know.
sure. Okay. Let me send you guys the link. There you go. Okay.
Good old owl bear.
Yep, that's right. All right, so let's do this. Let's see. Gotta get it there. So
Yeah, there we go.
okay. All right. So for those who are just joining, you can check it out in the video on demand or in the live stream. It is the map of the Hero's Haven, which formerly known as Stallmast's Lair. So, yeah, so you head the direction, and you are able to easily enough head towards the construction. And you realize they haven't like come in and started on the tunnel entrance yet, because you were in the garden, and the tunnel entrance is in the garden. But you do see in the construction area that is still being worked on, you do see there is an extra amount of workers today. You see Kellen, the foreman, the bright young gnome who is cheerful and excited, and he's energized, and you probably suspect he's had a little, a cup of coffee or two already, and he's telling people what to do here to kind of continue working. And you see behind him, standing there, you see what looks like some sort of excavation crew.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we'll say I brought him a cup of coffee from the kitchen too, just to...
Sure, absolutely. He turns on and sees, oh, fantastic. I do say I love this brew that you guys have. It is so delicious. And man, does it give me energy. And he takes it, and he it's hot, and somehow he gulps half of it down. Just like that.
Why?
And he's like, delicious. And he sets it on one of the workbenches there, and then he just he says, all right, come on, crew, let's go. And you see this crew of gnomes and dwarves with a few humans heading towards the garden area there. Unless you try to stop him and talk to him. But he is on it this morning.
Yeah, he's ready to go. And so I see he's kind of in a hurry, and I just say, all right, well, thank you for starting so quickly.
The puppies are so cute.
And my daughter wanted me to tell you your puppies are cute.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Cuter than anything.
All right. Tell them bye-bye. Are you going to bed? All right.
We gotta love the guest appearance.
Right.
Always.
Daddy, and I'm gonna.
So we go to. You follow Kellen, and he is like, "Oh yes, absolutely. We'll keep going." And so he and his crew of about 6 other workers head towards the tunnel. And in the tunnel there, they do. You see that he pulls out this large metal key, puts it in this lock on this metal door, and opens it up. And then says, "All right, men, we're gonna get in here and we're gonna start excavating, but make sure we don't want it to collapse. And once we get so far in, if we detect anything, we're gonna, if we detect air behind it, if we start to make a breakthrough, we're gonna stop, and we're going to take our precautions that we planned out." And they're like, "Aye," and it's a mix of male and female, dwarves and gnomes here. And like I said, these 2 big burly men come in as well, and they start forming a line, and they work quite carefully, actually, to make sure not to disturb the garden as they start. They have wheelbarrows and shovels and picks and everything, and they start this long procession going out to remove all of the rubble. So they begin their work. Anything else you guys want to do today?
All right. Then I'll just head back to breakfast where everyone else is. I just wanted to check on the progress.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think we're just waiting on Lee to take us to the library, right?
That's all I'm here for, yeah.
Aye.
We've got a couple of questions for them. I'm just waiting. It's been about 3 minutes. We're done with breakfast already.
I'm done with second breakfast already. I don't know. I'm just waiting for the monk.
So let's go to the library.
The what?
The what? What was that? Is that the new form of berry we're going to eat? I don't.
Library.
Rowan says, Yes. Give me one moment as I'll go get my change into my gear and we'll head on our way. He wanders off to his room and comes back a few minutes later with his gear on, and you guys head down to the town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you head into the city. By this time, it's a brisk morning walk. It's starting to, still early in the morning, especially for Theoden and Rowan probably. Both having enjoyed sleeping in a little bit. But yeah, it's
Always.
walking, down the mountain trail. You make it to the city, and head towards the library of the Cobalt Soul. Lee, how do you enter and
Monk.
approach?
So I'll walk in, and do I recognize anybody right off the bat? Like Archivist Let.
You don't see him, but you see one of the other archivists, and he says, "Oh yes, Master Lee, let me go get Archivist Let, and he will come and take you where you would like to go today." And so
Thank
he
you.
wanders off, and Archivist Let comes back and says, yes, Master Lee, what can we do for you today?"
Well, I was wondering if we could inquire on some information. Pete, what was it exactly we were looking for?
So yeah, we just had some questions about different histories on the Crown Dynasty and kind of specifically on any ambassadors that we could find out about, just kind of what they're about, how they come to be, how they get their rank. If there's any information we have on that.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a number of volumes about the Kryn dynasty, and although I'm afraid we can definitely look, as they are the Kryn themselves, the Dark Elves, are a long-lived people. There may be mention of some of their ambassadors, but some of that information will most likely be out of date, as we've been in a state of war for the last short period, and in a tense state, for the longer period previous. So he said, "But yes, come along. Any who are interested, we can set you up in one of the rooms."
Hey, you got chairs in the room?
No, actually, we have large pillows. So
I'm looking for some chairs.
I'm sorry, we don't have any. Theoden, roll a perception check.
Oh Lord. Thurston doesn't see anything.
Okay, you don't. Theoden
I got
does
a nat
not-
one.
Theoden does not see the knowing look that Archivist Let gives to Lee, who has already informed him of hiding all the chairs. So
Completely oblivious. What kind
Yes.
of place doesn't have chairs? Never gonna go sit on some foo-foo pillow or something like that? Good Lord. No wonder you monks are weird.
I'd like to
So-
believe that when Theoden sits down on the pillows, he instantly falls in love with it. It's like only wants to sit on pillows from here on out.
that's true. He's now offended by chairs. Yeah, so you're led to a room that is, it's not really a room, is more of almost like a reading nook off of one side. There's a low table that you not so much pillows, but more of like kind of thick mats. They are kind of slung around there, around the table, and there are a few pillows here and there to kind of lean on or whatever. But it's a very comfortable reading area. You do see some stools, but they look like they're more for like climbing and reaching books
Smashing.
as they search out books and tomes within the library there. Okay, so let's see. Who all is going to read in this.
Hey, I'm gonna take
I'll
my
read.
nap.
I am, and it's not going to
Yeah.
go well,
Okay.
but I am
I-
here for it.
Yeah, I
will
will
too.
read.
Okay. So
I'm gonna go find one of those like tufts of cloth to like lay down on. And start taking a nice little nap.
Absolutely. Actually, Theoden, I could see you finding a stool, right? Just an extra stool, probably for a gnome or something. So it's not very big, and you like pull it over and you like lay your head on it. You know, like you're on the mat, but you're low enough to the ground still. The stool is like, one of those like things, and then you put like another mat on top of it.
I could get used to this.
Rowan also goes over and finds a comfortable spot, and you see him, even though he's got his coffee, because somehow he brought it, he's sitting here drinking his coffee, and he starts, it's like half gone, and he kind of like starts to fall asleep, even though he's holding his coffee in his hand. So the other three of you, go ahead and roll a history check.
Rolling to my paper
wow.
plate as I am away from home.
Just no advantage, disadvantage, anything.
No, I mean not if you're all rolling individually.
I'm pretty historical. Yeah, maybe just it's a nat 1.
I got a 4.
Oh, it's a 5.
All right,
for
Pete's
me.
carrying this. That's a 16 for me.
He's not
Okay.
sure people existed before him at this point.
I don't think
So, Jace
year
is
is
like,
it?
what dynasty? Okay, so Jace and Lee, actually, the first few tomes and scrolls that you look at, you're not finding anything. They're barely even. They're like the geography of the Kryn dynasty, and it doesn't even look like it's that accurate. Pete, you on the other hand, you do find information on some of the so you find a few names of random people, people in positions of government within the Kryn dynasty that are known or were known. However, you do notice that the dates on the tomes that you have are upwards of 50 years old. So you're not sure if they're in there. You do not find any mention of Ambassador Ishel.
Do I find anything about like how ambassadors come to be ambassadors?
You don't. You get the sense through what you read. There is a system of houses or sect, different sections or maybe even families. The reading isn't quite clear in and of itself of what the organization is. It's a very broad overview. So it does mention the Bright Queen, who is the head of the Kryn dynasty. So you do also
Jason,
see.
are
You do also see, in times of war, there are not often ambassadors present. So,
Lee, Jace, are y'all finding anything? I found out a couple of things, not quite what I was looking for, but I did find some useful information.
I'm gonna look at Jace and say, Jace, you know that book you're reading is Elvish. Can you read Elvish? You're muted.
Cone of silence.
cone of silence.
Yeah.
Actually, I no, I can't. And that explains a lot. I'm just gonna put this one back.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure you just put that back in the wrong section.
If you tried to get up and put it in a section, one of the archivists would have come and taken it from your hand.
Oh yes, you
but
can have that.
as it stands, they've brought the resources for you and laid them on the table there for you to look at. So
I haven't found anything though.
they don't really let people go rummaging through who aren't members. So
And then I hit Jace over the head. Good, yeah.
Excuse me. Did you say my name?
I think you might be dreaming over there.
Oh, I didn't believe he was talking about me.
all right. So you spend the greater part of the morning looking through these. Do you continue on? Is there any specific information you want to find? Anything else?
I think the questions that I've asked have been kind of the most specific thing that I've been able to think of. So that's kind of it. Just like, how do they come to be? Can I find anything specific about that guy? But you've answered all of those.
Okay.
Before we leave, there is something I'd like to do.
Okay.
So I'm going to go up to Archivist Let and hand him a pile of papers that I've recorded some notes on, like the different families in the Shady Creek Run.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And then like the ones that I have their colors and stuff, I've wrote put that in there, and the coins I've done the whole charcoal thing where I've copied down the coins on the paper with the charcoal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then I have 2 sets of gun parts. I'm gonna give them 1 set of gun parts.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So he actually comes in and takes it. Or he's standing over to the side, but he's conferring with another archivist there, and they walk off as you come around towards him, and he says, "Oh yes. Oh." He takes the items from you, and he says, "Oh, Master Lee, these are very excellently done. I appreciate the organization you've put into these notes, and the etchings of the coins will be most useful indeed. This looks like a good report of your time in Shady Creek, and it will be distributed amongst the other outposts for the Cobalt Soul."
Let me know if there's anything else I can do for the order.
Oh, absolutely. As you know, we're always on the lookout for information. So, speaking of, I know you've been interested in guns, and I did have another small item that finally came in as requested from one of the other outposts, actually from the librarian Zadash.
Wonderful.
And he reaches in and pulls out this tome. It's not very big, but he hands it to you and says, we do have, along with it was a note saying we do have more extensive information on guns. However, in order to keep the knowledge, keep it from being in the event of our small library here or another one in a smaller town raided and getting this information leaked out, they keep it only in a few locations here and in one of the sources of origin. So
I understand.
But your request and the fact that you were able to recover a good number of these gun parts for that we heard of, they have authorized us to let you see it. So.
Well, thank you.
Yes, I will get it back for you. But if you want to study it here, you are more than welcome to.
Please.
He said we do have it for about a week.
Okay. Then I'd like to sit down and spend quite a bit of time studying that.
Okay. So what you see upon opening it up is a very small tome, almost kind of looks like a journal-sized book. and it has a lot more detailed notes about the workings of a gun, including one section that you find particularly interested in reloading and operating a gun. So
yeah, spend some
Yes.
time studying that. Maybe
it's about this
get
time.
Rowan over here and say Rowan, and then
He's like,
maybe both of us can work
What?
on
"Oh,
trying
yes,
to get
yes,
it
yes."
assembled, or trying to get it loaded.
Okay. So he comes over kind of groggily, but as soon as he sees what you have, he perks up immediately, and the two of you start studying it. We will, talk about it, the details of it later, but this will start the journey for any proficiency
Mhm.
for the two of you. So,
Yeah.
And you
I
did
know
say that.
he'll be
Sorry, you
excited
did
for
say
that.
that Kryn are historically dark elves, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
They are drow. Although, roll another history check. Or intelligence, if it's...
18.
So, also in there, while the Kryn dynasty is run by the drow, you do see that they... the tome that you're reading does speak positively about how they accept most of the races of the world, even some that the Empire tends to look down on or be suspicious of. So.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay, so you guys spend another few hours here. Theoden, you probably roll a Constitution check.
That would be a 12.
Okay. You awake with a tremendous hunger.
Oh.
And you realize that it's past lunch and is now early afternoon.
Oh, Pete, what are you doing to me? You're supposed to wake me
Hey.
up before I starve. Oh,
Keep it down over
Last
there.
time I woke you up, you
Some of us are
yelled at me.
studying.
oh, goodness, I'm going to shove that. Where's your cat at? I'm hungry. Oh,
Hey,
oh.
none of that now. Keep it down. Some of us are studying.
Theoden,
Is that what you're
You do
doing?
have some of the archivists come by being like, shh.
Shush yourself. Who do I gotta do to get a waiter to bring me some food around here? Monk, how do I order something?
Brains.
You leave.
The Lord, good Lord. Peter, you almost done? Oh my gosh, come on.
I think I found a good bit of information. I don't know that there is it. Is there anything else that I could find on any of this, or is this kind of everything?
Archivist Let is there, and he says, I mean, this is the majority of the information we have on the Kryn dynasty at the moment. Which, looking over, it's not a small amount, but it's probably like, 8 books, and then probably about a dozen scrolls and some other stuff. The information on the dynasty is not secretive, but it's it all kind of repeats itself, like, general histories, kind of stuff like that.
Well, I guess
Some
since
of
I
it's in
saw,
Elvish, some of it's in other scripts you don't know.
I guess since I saw Lee giving you some information earlier, I suppose that's probably how this works. So, at least scribble on a piece of paper, Ambassador Ishel, just the name, and I say, I think this is somebody that's currently an ambassador of the Crown Dynasty. If this is going to do any help for any of your libraries,
He says, okay, we will take it and record it among known agents of the Kryn dynasty.
Usually you trade for things like that, like food, for information.
well, they've given me information. You were asleep the whole time, so I'm giving them information because I figured that's how it works.
He Archivist Let looks at you there and says, we do have food if you would like. However,
You're holding out on me, Monk.
your tastes may run for more hearty food outside of our walls.
Oh, Lord. Can I take a pillow with me at least? Good Lord. Oh, I'm Morden's beard. I need something to eat, gentlemen. I'm going to starve to death.
All right, so I have you guys wrapped up here. Are you finished?
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, thanks.
Archivist,
good to leave.
Archivist Let talks to you, Lee, and says, "We will, because of the nature of the information on guns, we cannot have it leave, but you and your friend, if he so desires, are welcome to come in and inspect it for the remainder of the time we have it."
How far have we gone through on the tome? Have we read all of it, or just
I
kind
mean,
of got
it's
part
not
of
very
it?
big. Like skimming through it would probably take you like half an hour. But it's kind of more the information of like the reloading, the care of, and the firing of the weapon.
Mhm.
There's a few hand-drawn pictures as far as like how to reload and then how to hold and fire the weapon. It's a very simple drawing. It's not and it looks like it is for this kind of single shot. Maybe something that was created for use by the military, since they do
Mhm.
have some some guns and knowledge of them. So
So yeah, yes, Archivist. We'll definitely be back later to study
Very
this
well.
some more.
We will have it for you when you return.
Hey, we can't eat these books. Let's go.
All right. Is there anything
Well,
else anybody would like to
do believe
do
I'm
in
done.
town
Hey, find some food.
besides find food?
I'm famished.
No, I'm good. I've just
Okay.
been trying to rack my brain and put clues together and look for things.
Okay. So you all leave and head about business. You're able to check in with Wiltix and Bracco. They greet you warmly and feed you as always, as your sponsors will.
Oh, yeah.
You have a wonderful time at the tavern that evening, and you stay late into the evening celebrating as the working gnomes of the city of Hupperdeep
Hey.
go deep into their revelries, as they do every night, with much fireworks and pomp and circumstance. As you guys wind down, you're able to return to the Hero's Haven, and we now skip forward in time by about 2 weeks. Lee, you and Rowan have spent the better part of the first week looking at the tome about the proper use and care of guns. Theoden, is there anything you would like to accomplish in the following 2 weeks?
Yes. About the special projects I had going on. You think I could have gotten anywhere on those?
Let's see.
He's trying to grow automated breakfast.
Oh, Lord, if I could. Oh, Morden never see me.
Let's see. Sorry, I don't have it in front of me at the moment, so.
From that information, are we able to learn how to construct one of the guns?
Not construct. Not exactly. It's not a construction like instructions. It's definitely just how to clean the barrel, how to load it, how to maybe repair the trigger mechanism if it were to break, a few details like that. Like I said, it's really more of like your basic information that you could see them giving to a soldier to memorize in order to be in a some sort of like musket carrying brigade. So
Okay. Okay.
Theoden, go ahead and remind me in your personal chat what those projects were. I don't have it in front of me.
You're good. The two items that I wanted to make to put on people's shields.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you. I do remember that. Yes, I would say over the course of the 2 weeks, you can absolutely get those completed.
Would I be able to acquire at least the smaller of the two people's shields?
Acquire their shields?
Yeah, Pete's mainly.
I mean, you could ask him.
Okay. Pete.
Yeah, what's going
Pete, good friend of mine. I see that you're tending to your garden. I don't want to keep you too long. I've been working on some modifications to some armaments, and I would like to see if I could see your shield. I think I've got a really good addition to your shield. Might help bolster your spirits in the heat of the battle.
on? Oh, yeah, sure. All right. I guess just don't break it, but I trust you.
If I break it, I'll buy you a new one. It's okay.
All right. Well, I mean, it's okay. It's kind of special, but thanks.
Yeah, of course. So I would probably start with Pete and try to get his attached first.
Pete, roll just a intelligence check.
12.
Okay. Yeah, you've seen Theoden messing around with the blacksmithing workshop that he has set up, and you're fairly confident like he's not going to totally screw up your shield.
Good.
Hopefully.
So okay, yeah, so you're able to get that finished in that time. It probably would only take you about a week each one, so yeah, you'd be able to get those both finished. I think
I'd like to finish the other one, but I don't want to adorn it yet.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you finish the item that you're crafting for it, and you're able to get it finished. So okay, but you give Pete back his shield.
I do, with the new thing on it.
Describe to Pete what he sees.
So I have adorned the front of your shield with essentially it's a giant flame in the middle of it, made out of metal. And then out from that flame, coming out from the bottom of the flame, reaches two branches that have adorning growth, and they come up and almost touch at the top in a big circle. But it kind of shows that the life is protruding from the flame. And so it is Theoden's understanding and interpretation of how Pete views to him what his almost nature god is representing.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Theoden, this is incredible. Thank you.
It was something, it was good to get back in the forge, and I could feel Morden just coursing through me veins and giving me the power to strike the hammer. And next thing I know, I just let my mind wander, and out came this, and all I could think about was our conversation of where you get your holy imminent power and your true calling to follow nature. And I don't necessarily understand your God, but I can see your hand in this amazing garden here, and obviously you get your wonderful druid powers from somewhere. And this is just a representation to let you know that, whatever it is, whether it's Theoden's shield or it's the shield of the fire spirit, hey, it's got your back on the battlefield any day.
This is incredible. I can tell by your craftsmanship that you've not just added a hunk of metal to my shield. You've actually carved out the wood to make everything fit. It's got the same balance that it did before.
I tested it myself. many times I didn't want it to get you killed in battle. It is finely crafted as it could be. My poppy would be proud. Ah, Lord, I bless his heart. He was a good smith himself. I just wish he was alive to see me. It's just it's a good thing. I'm glad you like it, Peter. Hopefully we don't put too many nicks in it.
I'm sure you can fix it if we do, but you've always been there to protect me from that happening in the first place. So
We'll leave the nicks to my shield.
Okay. Theoden, go ahead and roll for me. With advantage, because this isn't too hard of a project for you. Roll a strength check.
Okay.
With advantage, and then roll a religion check. No advantage, just by itself.
Okay. Strength will be a 19. And just a religion check, you said?
Yes.
And my religion check will be an 18.
Okay. So, over the course of these 2 weeks, thankfully, both of them turn out exactly how you want them to turn out. You're able to get the fine detail and craftsmanship. You don't have any issues, but more than that, it feels good to return to the forge. It centers you in a way that you haven't felt in a long time. Not since well before you left your former troop. You almost felt like you'd forgotten. Like I said, it takes you back to the time spent with in the forge with family and your in your younger days. So you feel a little more. You feel closer to Morden, for sure, from this experience. And it's, like I said, it's definitely helped you there. So
Towards the end of me getting the second one done, would I be able to try to stealth into the other person's and grab theirs?
You can certainly try.
I know I should never stealth.
So here's the thing. Are you wearing your armor?
Oh. Well, since we're at home, I would probably take my armor off.
Okay. So then you would not have disadvantage.
Okay. If it's still not help. Just kidding.
Somebody has a ring that may make you stealthier.
It was a 2 plus 1. I got a 3.
So
I think they're going to be alerted when I try to steal their stuff.
Jordan sounds like a can of forks in the garbage disposal.
Even without the armor.
So describe the sound of and the part of the haven where you trip or do something.
I would probably come out late at night of my bedroom and creep across the hall, staring into my forge to make sure no one was seeing me, and creep to the right just a little bit and head up towards the garden, coming into what used to be the old triage. And as I crack the door open, it squeaks just a little bit as I try not to. And as I step inside, I'm half watching over my shoulder so no one sees me go into Jace's room. And as I'm doing that, I smack my ankle on the door frame and tumble in heels over head, and come to an abrupt stop on my back.
Jace, roll a perception check with advantage.
Oh, I have a pretty high perception.
I was gonna say your passive perception's probably enough to catch third.
Yeah, both those rolls, I rolled a 3 and a 5.
Wow.
But I have a +7 to perception, so it's gonna be a 12.
Well, you rolled a 2, Theoden, so he's gonna he beat you with either of those rolls.
Your flat out rolls seen me.
So Jace, you wake up and what you see in the light spilling in from the open door is Theoden sitting in the floor with one leg up, like grasping his ankle as he's hurt, and he's not in his armor, so it takes you a second. but he's got you can tell he's been working in the forge, and he's got the smith's apron and on, and
Soot all
he's
over my
soot
face.
all he's dirty, but he's like silently cursing, in there. So
Yeah. So whenever Jace first hears something, I jump up and like have guiding bolt like half cast, just a little bit paranoid as it is.
You see-
And then I see, what?
yeah.
What are you doing in my room?
Relax,
Why-
Cleric, just relax.
Right.
Oh, God, I picked myself up off the ground. Okay. All right.
What happened to you?
I think I was sleepwalking. I got lost. I was working late in the forge. I need to check the balance of a crappy old shield, and I seen you carrying one around battle, and I mean obviously mine is so pristine and nice. I couldn't necessarily test with something as eloquent as mine. I mean it's just it's dwarven perfection.
It's late.
Roll-
You want my shield? Is that what you're saying?
I need to borrow it just
Roll
for a
it.
minute.
Roll a deception check.
Oh man, that's the only one I don't have good at. Okay, that's not bad. I'll tell you. 17.
Okay.
Unless
I was gonna say, Jace, if you want to roll an opposed, or if you just want to let him take it, it's up to you.
Either way, he got it.
Okay.
listen,
Stas
Clint.
is going to
Actually,
jail.
how long would it take me to adhere it?
I mean, it would probably take you a couple of hours.
Okay. Cleric, if you've got the moment, I could probably actually use your help, and you might want to see this.
Well, all right. I'm already awake. You think the kitchen has coffee?
And only due to the fact of what you were saying there, Seth, about how Thornton how Thornton was feeling that closeness with Morden, would he have reached out and
Sure.
invited Jace to follow him to his forge? I'm pretty sure we can whip up some coffee or something, and we'll get
Excellent.
some coffee. But come in. Give me a hand in the forge. I think there might be something in there you might like.
All right.
Yeah. So when you head,
sure.
you head off to the kitchen for a minute, and you do see actually, young apprentice, cook. You see Gimmond, who is sitting there, and he's nursing some coffee himself because it's probably like midnight or so,
All right.
But he's awake because he is helping serve the guards, when overnight guards. So, and he was like, "Oh yes, absolutely. I've got a fresh pot here." and he
Excellent
gives us some
work,
coffee,
friend.
So yeah, so you go in and you go down to Theoden's forge.
And as I grab the coffee from him because he's up so late, I put a gold on the counter and slide his way.
Oh, thank you kindly, master.
Absolutely. Keep up the great work. And I follow Thurden onto the forge.
The shield, Cleric. Did you bring the shield?
Here's the shield. I got it.
I'm gonna go ahead and set the shield down. I'm gonna kind of size it up, and then probably cover it up because I didn't want anybody to see it. I would pull out this cloth that I've kept hidden, and when I open this cloth, inside would be pretty much a visage of Saren Ray and how she was in the statue that I left in your bag. And this would be what Thurden had made for Jace to adhere to his shield as kind of a offering between Thurden and Jace. And so this is what I would want to put on your shield, is just a large visage of Saren Ray. And
Yeah.
and I Cleric, listen, I know we don't see eye to eye all the time, and I've had me share of friends that
Yes, but I believe you're growing.
I'm pretty sure I can throw this back.
I
in the forge for
understand. I was
it,
trying
and,
to break the tension.
I
Alright.
know, Cleric.
This is
I mean,
beautiful.
I've had my share of friends and I've lost my share of friends, and some of them, fell in battle that I didn't necessarily get to make amends with, and I don't want the same between us. Not that I think you'd fall in battle, not with me around, obviously, but if you run off by yourself like a bard, something might happen. But I want you to know that even though we don't see eye to eye, bard or that cleric, Lord, it's late.
It is, yes.
I still want you to know that I've got your back, and Morden still looks kindly on you, so obviously Thurden should too. And I'm learning more and more about this Ray and your deity and what she stands for. I do understand that we're probably going to clash again, but I want you to know that at the end of the day, whether we're upset with each other or not, my shield will always swing rightly for you, and my hammer will always smite those that are trying to kill you.
Well, let me begin with saying the artistry here is impeccable. Excellent work.
Well, it's dwarven, of course it is.
Of course it is. I should have expected as much. But yes, I will say thank you for that. That actually means a lot more to me than you might even realize. I've not always had people in my corner that I can trust, and I'm starting to see that I might have that with this group.
Thank you. I've lost a lot what I would consider family, so it's tough for an old gruff dwarf like Thurden to really want to trust other folk that I may or may not lose, and maybe the more I beat this metal into whatever Morden ceases my arm to do, the more I'm coming back to really being in Morden's graces and understanding where Thurden stands as a dwarf as well. So, and I'm gonna go ahead and as we're talking, I'll be tapping and attaching this thing to a shield and working it in just like Pete's. I'd probably make sure that I balanced it effectively. I wouldn't just want a big extra metal piece slapped to a shield. It would be adorned carefully. It'd look like it belonged, and obviously once I test the weight of it, I'd toss him back his shield.
And at this point, I pick up like hammers and tools. I clearly have no idea what they do. I'm just like,
hey, I'm constantly like, no, stop, put that down. I'll show you later. I'll show you later.
I think I know what this one does.
No, you don't. You the way you're holding it tells me you have no idea what it is. Why are you holding a pair of tongs like they're hammer? Give me that. Give it to me.
I mean, it would be effective at hitting things.
No,
I feel like.
Oh Lord.
Like little, gentle things, like this.
Oh Lord. Oh gosh.
All right. You know what? I'll leave this to you.
I need some ale. Okay. All right. Well, here's your shield. It looks to be good. It'll take a hit from everything except for maybe my hammer. But there you go. Don't go getting emotional on me, cleric. I don't want any of that crybaby stuff you do. But just know Thurden's got your back, and we're like brothers. You can pick on each other like brothers. But nobody else gets to pick on you. Just me.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Thank you for this. A constant reminder. Appreciate that.
Anytime, cleric.
I raise my cup of coffee and I walk away with my shield. And I'm looking at it as I'm walking away.
And after giving both of them their thing, Thurden would probably spend that last day just kind of spending time in the forge, reacquainting himself with Moradin and his connection to reach out to Jason to Pete about this whole thing, kind of open up to both of them. So
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Jace, anything that you would like to accomplish in the 2 weeks?
I would just be checking on Kellen and the workers as they're making their way through the tunnel, going in, helping inspecting traps and such.
Sure, absolutely. As you watch them over the course of these 2 weeks, they're digging out. They're working remarkably fast, but you also realize that this tunnel was collapsed pretty extensively. They're able to follow it, but I mean they're moving. You feel like if they weren't trying to be cautious, they could probably move faster. But they're basically going about 10 feet, and then bracing the structure and putting in basically a temporary door of some kind that you could tell is a precautionary defense, kind of thing. And then they will move it once they get another 10 feet cleared and so on and so forth. And they're going pretty, kind of deep a little bit. It's not, like I said, it's a lot further of a tunnel than you'd expected over the course of these 2 weeks. But, okay. Lee, anything you want to do after that first week? Cone of silence.
Yes. Yeah. So I would like to I'm sick, by the way, for everybody watching, so that's why I'm a little slow. So I'd like to just kind of go back to, I feel like it's been a while since Lee's been able to just kind of meditate and train with his weapons. He's been a lot of his free time actually doing something.
Mm-hmm.
So just spending some time training and whatnot, and going back to the Cabal Soul every couple of days and helping them with whatever they need, or training with them and whatnot.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. You're able to go about that. Like I said, that first week, you and Rowan pour over the gun, little manual there, and you're able to roll a dexterity check for me. Actually, roll 3 dexterity checks. Cone of silence again.
They were just that bad.
Yeah. First one was a dirty 20. Second one was a 12.
Okay.
Third was a 6. So they progressively got worse. Yeah.
Okay. So this is you and Rowan practicing with a few shots. You don't have a large amount of ammo at the moment with Rowan's gun, but he reluctantly agrees to share with you, and that you can use it when he is there with you. And so you both take a few shots, and you both miss the first one. What was the second one you got?
Well, I got a 20 on the first one.
Oh, sorry.
30.
So the first one you actually hit, and it hits solidly on target. What was the second one you got?
Then I got a 12.
Okay. The second 2 you miss. So
beginner's luck.
Sure. Rowan actually does hit with his first as well. Not quite as solidly in the middle as you, but he hits it. The second one he also hits, and then the third one he gets a little distracted and he missed as well. So, but you all take a few target shots, get the feel for it. So it's loud and it echoes in the training area, and you realize maybe we should put some soundproofing in here. So
I'm just casting Thunderwave every time I hear a gunshot.
You during that time also, after the first couple shots, you do see Anwin, the pixie from the area, flutter in and be like, "Oh my goodness, what is going on?" And she sees what you're doing, and then she's enthralled by it, but quickly gets bored after it takes you 5 minutes to reload between each one. So, all right, Pete, what would you like to do?
In this time, I think I'm not only gardening, but I'm kind of seeing how Lee trains and meditates, and I'm slowly becoming more kind of aware of his routines. As I'm spending some time gardening and some time like playing fetch with my fire spirit with different seeds and things where I throw them into the air and I have it shoot it out of the air. But at some point, I guess during the second week when he's got time, I'm I guess I would see him probably training or sparring in the arena and go up and talk to him and say, Lee, would you mind spending some time kind of training me in whatever weapons you have and things? I don't feel like I do super great with what I've got. I feel a little bit slower than everyone else. I don't feel like I'm helping the party so much when we get into combat. And I was just wondering if you could help me out with that some.
Of course, Pete. I mean, I feel like you've handled yourself quite well in combat, in means other than weapons. But I would be more than happy to spar with you. What's your weapon of choice? And I'm going to go over to the wall of weapons that I now have with a couple of different things on there.
You've seen me. I normally use my scimitar that I have.
All right. And then I'm going to go, and I don't know what I just did, but I did something.
Oh my goodness, is that adamantine armor?
Yeah. What? I wish I could. Okay, there we go. I was playing a little game of cat and mouse with something on my computer, apparently. So I'm pretty sure I have I don't think I have one of those, actually. I'm going to pull out the short sword and then start training with him, just showing him different techniques and whatnot.
Even if I'm not sure, because I've seen you meditating as well. I'm not sure if that would help me at all either. But just kind of whatever you do, I'd like to start, training in whatever it is you've got going on.
Well, I practice a lot with the different forms with the weapons, and each weapon has their own form, and just using them as an extension of my own body, and training with them, and sometimes just going through the forms is kind of a way I meditate in with the weapon, and then I'll do what traditionally people think is meditating, where I just sit and contemplate and kind of clear my mind. Both of those will help you become a better swordsman, though.
So it's both for you. The way you use your weapons is a form of your meditation, but you also spend time doing that as well.
Yes.
Pete has this kind of light bulb turning on in his head moment, and after spending however many days or whatnot training, just training in weapons with Lee, he also decides to sit down and focus on his magic and time with his fire spirit.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And during that time, I think I probably cast Speak with Animals during that time, and I summon my fire spirit, and I'm probably sitting in my room or in the garden or something, kind of by myself, and I feel like I'm just sitting there, kind of staring into its eyes and trying to understand what it is and where it's from. And so I cast Speak with Animals, and I go, we've been together, and I've never really asked you your name. I don't know what you call yourself. I know who it is that you are to me, and I know I've just referred to you as Fire Spirit, but is there a name you have for yourself? And I think rather than it speaking, it probably just looks, and I hear the voice in my head, instead of it kind of responding, and its name is Agni.
All right.
Nice.
So Agni, the voted on name by the.
I need to make more accounts.
All right. So yes. So you speak and spend time with Agni, getting him to practice your seed shots and other things. Teleporting in and out of different areas. Without disrupting too much. But yeah. All right. So over the course of the next 2 weeks, you're able to do all of those things, and then we will take a break and come back at the end of the 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right
And
back.
now we wait
All right,
2
see y'all in
IRL
2
weeks.
weeks. Just kidding.
2-week break.
See you next year.
All right. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Thank you for that. We all needed to get a little drink and some sustenance. Sorry if you saw us showing off our drinks here. We're having a little conversation, comparing our beverages of choice for the evening. But we return to our adventure, and the 2 weeks has gone by. The crew... yeah, no, not yet. The crew is finishing up with clearing the tunnel. And Kellen comes to you all one day at the end of the 2 weeks and says, all right, heroes, I have a strong suspicion we're going to break through the remaining portion here just within the next hour or two. So if you all can be prepared, we'd like to bring you down. We have a little bit of a cleared space just before the final breakthrough that you all can gather. And
Nice.
we've cleared about 200 feet of tunnel, and I think we're about to break through. It's a lot. I'm not sure if it's going to be coming out where you might think it's going to come out, but
Interesting.
yes. So
Excellent. And I grab up my new shield and I hold it in front just for everyone to see. Just flaunting it at this point.
yes,
I
Shown
whip
it-
out
shown it off.
my new shield and hold it in front for everyone to see.
perfect.
Whip out
perfect.
my new shield. Just kidding.
And then third would pick up his shield and just kind of puff his chest out a little bit, kind of like, taking it in, that they were,
Yeah.
worthwhile to show off his craftsmanship.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So, I always picture Lee occasionally when he tries to carry all of his weapons at once. I see him as once again we're gonna have an Avatar: The Last Airbender reference, but I see him as Aang, who is in the shop with the entire suit of armor and like 20 weapons sticking off his back. That he can't actually wield any of them, but he just looks amazing for a second.
Well, that's why I want the efficient quiver so much, is I could carry around the weapons and not look dumb.
Yes. All right. So, everyone gears up, I'm assuming, and heads down to the tunnel.
Now they're going to be putting some kind of secondary wall in once they take this out, right?
So
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
I'll describe it as you go down.
Okay.
So you enter the tunnel from the garden area, and there's about half of his crew have come back out. You notice now that one of the humans who was on his crew, on Kellen's crew, he actually has a short sword and a shield. And he is kind of taking a post up there, like for just a last resort if something happens. He roll. Yeah, you don't have to roll perception. You basically get the sense like if something happens to you guys when you break through, he's gonna shut and lock the door. So.
And
But he's standing by the metal door that you had already installed, which was a pretty heavy metal door.
Mhm.
And it has a lock in it there. But you go through that door. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just gonna say I would kind of look at Kellen and I would be like, if this goes sideways, I want you and your men to run. The heroes are already here. You guys get to safety.
And he says, don't you worry about us. We will get out of the way. Once we realized this was in our exploratory, we opened a small hole and we can see a little ways out into it, but we cleared out a section just ahead of it, where you all and a few of us can stand to make it through the last section. And so,
Fantastic. Thank you.
so yeah, so you go through the doors, and it's not a large tunnel, but like two of you could probably walk side by side a little uncomfortably. It wouldn't be just like super wide, but it is wide enough. You get the sense that you knew that they were trying to smuggle some things through them. So it was wide enough for at least some like carts, like hand carts kind of thing, like of some kind maybe. But as you go through, you do see there are support beams that are new wood with metal brackets that have been installed by Kellen and his crew. And it's got kind of every 5 feet or so you see these. And then you get to about 20 feet down, and there is a wooden door. It has a pretty heavy latch and bolt system on it, but it opens up, and it's a little bit wider here, and so you notice that. You continue on, and you get to a curve in this tunnel, and it actually kind of doubles back like a switchback and starts heading the other direction. The entire time, you do realize you are starting to head downward in a gentle slant downward. You travel for another 100 feet or so, and you get to a section, and there is now what looks like another switchback, but this time it's got there is a little bit more of an open area, and there is a table, like a small kind of camp table, and there's a couple lanterns there with some kind of like excavation plans laid out on it and everything. You can tell this is kind of where they've been running the last sections of it. So you can continue down, and at this section, once you turn on the switchback, there is now another metal door. And another wooden door, excuse me. And then you get to go through that, and you go about another 60 feet. And at this point, it's going a lot steeper down. It's not quite too steep for you to walk or anything, but it's going a little further down of a slope. You get to another point where you see now another metal door, another heavy metal door, kind of like the one you have there. And in the area behind the metal door, there is another table set up, and it's kind of like, again, carved out, like they expanded the tunnel to where it's kind of a small room, what looks like maybe 15 feet by 15 feet kind of thing. And then it opens up with this tunnel, with this metal door. The door's open, and so you go through, and you realize that the tunnel kind of goes down a little further, about another 20 feet, and then there is another opening. And at this point, you see the tunnel, which again is only probably about 6 feet wide. And there is kind of that collapsed rock, but there's like about halfway up there what looks like to be a hole that you could like stick your fist through. And it's just pitch black. There you see the other human guard, or the other human who was part of the area. He also has on a short sword and a shield, and he is nervously waiting with the rest of Kellen's crew. So 4 others there. The 5 of you get down there, and Kellen says, "Well, we've come to the end of the collapsed section of the tunnel. We've reinforced it, and we've put a few stations along the way. But with this, we are going to break through, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know what's on the other side. I'm fairly certain we are below ground level of the city above."
Can I try to look through the hole that's there?
The one guy with no dark vision.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have dark vision.
I mean, yeah, you could try. Make a perception check.
Perception.
I do.
I mean, I have a +7. Either way, I'll roll in D&D Beyond because
I probably see him walking up to do this, and I take off my goggles and slide them over his eyes.
9.
with my arms wrapping around it.
Okay. So
My first roll was a 9.
Well, okay. So then, so you look through and you can't see anything, honestly. Kellen does say, "Well, one moment there, sir. I can actually, we can actually put some light in there a little bit to try to see. We did look a little further. It looks like the tunnel continues on a little ways, but the torch that we put through the hole has run out at this point. So he takes another torch, lights it off the wall, and like pushes it through the hole. When he wants to look again.
I'll look.
Okay.
Put my goggles back on myself.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So what you see is the tunnel goes on for about another 10 feet. And this is all in dim light of the torch that was shoved through the hole. After that, it looks like it opens up. And you can tell with that, it looks like it's definitely carved. And it's kind of a carved stone archway a little bit. Not like a fancy carved, but just like a rough-hewn stone archway of some kind. And you can tell it looks like there's stairs after that. And that's it.
I have no memory of this place.
Would I?
So it doesn't appear to be anything, any person on the other side. It does look like there's some stairs that lead down, and it kind of opens up a little bit. I think we're good to go ahead and break this through, or break this down.
Okay.
If once we go through, if we're, I think it would be best if Colleen and your men, if y'all go ahead and head back up.
So,
because we may be down here for a while.
Yes.
so as you all are discussing this, you do hear from behind Pete's head, little, I can fit through the hole. And you see Anwin kind of fly up in front of everybody, and she's there with you, and she says, I can fly through the hole. I'll go look on the other side and see what's there.
Anwin, question before you do that. I understand you have invisibility where you can choose who sees you.
Oh, yes,
Is there
absolutely.
is there any types of creatures that can just see you even if you choose for them not to?
Oh, well, sure. I mean, there are some creatures that can see things that are invisible. But I'll be careful.
Hey.
I won't go very far.
I just take the door down. I
right.
don't see any sense and chance in anyone, even your pet.
She goes, I can also cast. I can also try to detect something. And,
All right, can you do that from here with us?
Yeah, I can do that. And she actually casts detect good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
And she but you don't necessarily know that she's casting that per se, but she kind of concentrates, and you see this kind of pulse of energy that's almost invisible, just kind of like go out from her.
Would I know that she's casting that since it's one of my spells?
It's roll.
I know it's casted differently than
sure.
I would cast it.
Roll an Arcana check or religion, one of the two. Arcana or religion. I'll give you either one.
I don't know anything.
Okay. You didn't catch it far enough. You were kind of like concentrating on the
nat one.
You're concentrating on the hole. You're like, I'm gonna rush through this, and I'm just gonna hit
Shield
anything
out,
in the way.
mace, hammer in hand already. Like,
It's like it's like the warrior getting ready to rush off of a ship, into battle kind of thing. You're just prepared. But she casts it, and she says, I don't believe I detect anything within range of the spell's reach, at least.
I say we at least open it up.
Understood.
Let's push forward. Let them clear the area, and then they can push back past the last door at least before we push on.
So, well, you're already
agreed.
past the last door.
No, I'm
So-
saying they can push back past the last door.
Yeah,
at
the
least.
guards
Gotcha.
and
Yeah.
they're
So
working.
Kellen says,
agree
we'll
with that.
step inside and we will leave the door open while you push, or while we push through, and then and then we can shut the door if there's any problems.
Very, very well.
Excellent. Great plan. Let's go.
Erden would just step up ready. As soon as a crack comes, he's going to go
So-
barreling through.
Two of
Yep.
Kellen's dwarven workers
Ah.
step forward, and you see along this kind of like wall of rubble. You see there's actually like a couple of, on either side, there are some spikes that are wedged, and they're wedged into these cracks in such a way, and so they walk up and there's one big spike on either side. And they both have these pretty hefty-looking hammers. And they walk up and they swing the hammers and they hit them. And you see the cracks expand quickly, rapidly up, going up through where the other spikes are. And it just goes, and it crumbles, and it's like the whole wall of rubble just drops to the floor. And it kind of spreads out towards your feet and towards, into the tunnel beyond, and after they hit it, they basically turned around and kind of rushed back through the door.
I'd take probably a
As-
half step forward.
Yeah, I'd move forward and I'm gonna stealth.
As do I. Yeah.
Go ahead and roll stealth.
Before,
Yep.
as
I'm
anyone
gonna-
was looking through, I was thinking to myself, like, I need to summon my fire spirit and cast a spell, so can't I have done that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
You couldn't have done that in preparation, and so you all have some dim light from the torches behind you, because there were some torches on the walls, and then also from the flaming fire spirit Agni.
Yes.
It's pretty well lit down to this stone archway that you now see. Like I said, it's very rough hewn. It's not like it's a handcrafted, but it's a hewn out of the rock kind of archway, and you do see stairs that kind of
I got a
start going down.
15 for my stealth check, and yeah, I'm gonna start working my way down the stairs.
Would I be able to tell what kind of person carved these out?
Roll a nature check.
Do you have
For record,
advantage
I
on
would-
those?
Or
'Cause you're
hold on. Would it be under my stone cunning, which means if I make a history check related to the origin of stonework, I'm considered proficient in the history skill and double my proficiency bonus.
I'll give you that. You
Being
can
a
use your-
mountain dwarf.
You can add your proficiency.
And just for reference,
Was it another nat
I
one?
do have.
But close.
Oh, Chewie has stayed back in the room. He's not coming with us into here.
Okay. All right.
Is a trace.
So Theoden, in your anxiousness, you try to kind of glance at it, but you don't really get a good look, and you're ready just to kind of move forward.
All right.
Um,
I'm gonna start heading down. Just try to stay in front of them and
so
shield at the ready.
Theoden, the stairs at this point, you see Lee and Theoden are able to walk side by side. It's tight, but you're able to do it. As you start to move down these stairs, the tunnel itself starts to widen a little bit. It only goes down about another 30 feet, and it comes out onto a landing. Both of you roll a perception check.
natural 20.
Oh,
Okay. Theoden, a 1.
1.
Okay.
I'm throwing
I
all these
rolled-
dice in
yeah.
the dice jail, guys.
I've rolled
Theoden.
awful on all my dice except for perception checks.
I'm
and I've had
about to
2
fall
natural
here.
20s.
I'm about to fall here, aren't I?
Theoden, roll a dexterity check. Lee, you also roll a dexterity check.
Man, that's better. 19 total.
Is it a check or saving throw?
A check.
Check.
For you, it's a check.
So I got a 23.
Okay.
19 plus 4.
Okay.
Is it
So-
a check for me or a saving throw?
It would have been a saving throw. Sorry.
Either way,
Yeah.
I got a 20.
So
Or
okay,
21.
so as you reach this landing, you actually kind of rush forward a little bit, but you do manage to stop yourself, Theoden. You do feel, however, even though you stopped yourself, you do feel Lee's hand grab the back of your kind of armor there, and you look, and you are standing on the edge of a precipice. It's not a bottomless chasm, but you now realize that you are in the beginnings of a large underground cavern. Somebody roll a history check, or two people roll a history check.
I got it.
I roll it with my natural 20.
Be a 19 for me.
Okay.
If I can get it to roll in the thing, that would be an 18 for me.
Okay. So, Jace, as you come out of the tunnel, and Lee, as you look around, you realize that this is a cavern that is the beginning of the Underdark.
Oh boy.
For those that don't know, the Underdark is basically a subterranean realm unto itself.
I read The Legend of Drizzt.
So, so you
the first one,
realize
no spoilers.
that this is there. As you look, you do see the path actually winds to the left and kind of curves around the side of this cavern on the left, and then opens up into what looks like some sort of broader road leading into kind of a network of caverns down below.
I'd probably put my hand up and kind of stop them from going down the path. I was just like, guys, I think this might be the time that we head back, and maybe we get properly equipped for fighting in the dark. I don't know about you guys, but
you know,
my time in the mountains, nothing ever good comes out of those places.
Yeah. As much as I want to know what's on the other side,
You
just-
hear kind of under your arm, Jace, you see Kellen picking out, and he's like, "Oh my, that seems dangerous."
and I believe it is. Why are you? We asked you to you and your crew to head back.
Well,
remember?
there wasn't any immediate danger. Otherwise, we would have heard the fighting. So I had to see what was at the bottom of the stairs.
I can punch the cleric if you're looking for a fight.
Oh no, that's okay.
You know
he
what
says,
they say
well-
about curiosity.
Now that we know, I will definitely head back. And he turns around and starts marching back up the stairs.
Excellent idea.
I like this
Friends,
guy.
I am anxious to see what is at the end, but I am at quite a bit of a disadvantage down here,
Hey.
literally, and so
I think
I might agree with that.
I think most
like-
of the way we're gonna have to have a torch lit, so we better be ready for a fight if there's
Yes.
anything down here. We might.
I'm
have to
not
fight
made
with
of
different
fire.
class.
Is this not good enough for you?
Aye, but I want to
No.
make sure that we are equipped for whatever comes at our
Yes.
light that we will be
Had
walking
I
with.
known what I'd been facing today, I would have been smart enough to prepare a spell to handle this.
I also have 10 torches in my inventory for some
Oh, I
reason.
do too.
So like,
Yeah, I'm not worried
I do
about
too.
seeing. It comes in your explorer's pack.
Yeah, I mean I have torches.
I'm not worried about like getting him to see. I'm just thinking that we should probably go up and equip ourselves for what we're gonna find down here.
Yeah, get some better stuff. Get efficient quivers.
Healing potions. Yeah,
Yeah.
pick up my dwarven thrower, my
Some-
adamantine armor, all that stuff real
Yeah,
quick.
some rations.
Couple more levels. Sure.
Go and level up. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
We'll level up to 13, 14,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see if we could get our hands on a few more. Not Jace, that your healing isn't great, but we may need a few more guiding bolts and a few less healing spells. So yeah,
Understood,
I think a
I
few
do
more
enjoy a good
maybe-
guiding bolt.
Right, a few more healing potions if we can get our hands on it. Maybe some some more supplies to help us down in these caves. I'm all for rushing in and clearing out whatever bad could be down there, but I don't think we need to do it right now.
I agree.
But
I
again,
agree.
I'm
I think
all
we
for it.
go
Let's
back
go.
and
Perhaps we can go and prepare ourselves quickly and come back. I don't necessarily love the idea that we've now opened up the cavern back into our base.
We have
things have been set in place.
We have 2 giant metal doors and 2 wooden doors in between. So
agreed.
And then you have the finest warriors assembled in the whole land on the other side of all those doors. So
talking about those guys who was running guards.
No,
one of them dropped his swords.
I'm talking about us.
Oh, okay, yes, us. Because
Rowan steps up.
Terrified.
Rowan steps up and says, "Gentlemen, I feel like we should probably tell Wiltix and Brackle about this."
That's the first person I wanted to go see is Wiltix. He might have us some goodies that could help us down here in the dark.
Indeed, yes.
If he doesn't have them, he might be able to find some. But
exactly.
I think we definitely need to let them know, seeing as how they are kind of our patrons and kind of responsible for us. I feel like we owe them the rest of the story as far as what Stallmast was doing here.
Well, that's a good point. Maybe they'll give us some free stuff to come back down.
Some free stuff? Is that what you said? I
Some free
didn't
stuff to come
understand
back out here.
halfling at that point either.
I mean, if they're supposed to be the ones sponsoring us, maybe they'll just give us some free things to help us out on this.
Hey, health potions and such. I like free. Let's go.
Indeed.
Hey,
All right.
what was
Clean.
what was the guy's name? Kellen?
Kellen.
Was that-
Cullen. Why do I keep calling him Colleen? Cullen?
Kellen. K-E-L-L-I-N.
The first E.
Like Helen, but Kellen.
Can we push everything back and secure it behind the last metal door, Kellen?
He says, "Oh yes, absolutely. I can leave my man down here for now, but if you'd like, as a kind of a warning, we can definitely try to install some other safety precautions. It's
That would be
the
a good idea.
Underdark is no joke."
I believe the best
is
case
indeed
scenario would probably be to pull
true.
back behind the big door until we go down, and then after we go down, put all whatever safety precautions behind us you can put in.
Yeah, do you have any more of those automated crossbow shooters that were there that you kind of cleared out and moved in?
Can
You
we
can put down
make
this
those
hole
not
and-
He
shoot
kinda-
us?
He kind of
when we come
brightens
back.
up and says, "Oh, I don't have any yet, but I can definitely get one."
Can you make it not shoot at us if it sees us?
Oh, well, we can make sure that it heads a certain way. Also, have a switch further up the tunnel.
Hidden switches.
All right.
Oh, sure, we can hide it, or we can make it glaringly obvious, whatever you would like.
Hey,
Let's make 2 switches. One that looks like it's supposed to be blaringly obvious, but if you pull that one, you actually get shot instead.
let's
I like
not
this.
overcomplicate
This is a good
it.
plan.
Let's
Perhaps
go
by
get
that
some
switch
stuff.
there's a pit.
Good
You fall
Lord.
in.
Let's go get some stuff to go down there and clear whatever baddies we can. And I'd love to have a nice big basement to add to our fine abode above.
Okay, so you guys head back up.
Mhm.
Okay, as you go, you do, Kellen and the crew lock and all the doors. In the meantime, on the way back up, and you head back up to, and walk out into the lush, bright garden that is Pete's garden. And Kellen
Hey.
turns and locks the door behind and hands you all the keys. He says, "Here is a key for each of you, and then I have one as well that it will be kept in deposit with Brackhill and Wiltix, but I'm hold on to it until we can get those requested armaments down there."
Aye, so we know if someone sneaks in peeping on me when I'm sleeping, who has the key to it. I got you, Kelly.
Oh, this is just the keys for the tunnel.
I don't care how you come in.
Actually, I might need an extra lock on my door. Someone snuck into my room the other day.
You'd call it sneaking, cleric. There wasn't much sneaking
all right.
happening.
It was not much sneaking. You are correct.
I tried to knock on the door and it just opened up on me.
But all the more reason for more locks.
Hey,
So
let's go talk to Will Tix and Blackham.
all right. So so you guys are gonna to leave it locked up for now and head down to town.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I'd say at this point, I was hoping to do it when he's here, but he's not here. I would have given Rowan the gunsling so that when we're in town, he can carry the gun under his cloak.
Okay.
Still have it accessible, but have it hidden.
Okay. Yeah, easily enough. We'll let you describe it for him later. So,
Okay.
but you give him the holster, and he secures it around him underneath his cloak that he has. So, all right. So you all head down to Hopperduke, and at this point, it is about early afternoon, and as you enter the city from the direction of your Hero's Haven, you realize. Somebody roll a perception check for me.
Okay. Oh, that's a 12 plus nothing.
Okay.
12.
Not too difficult. While there are still people working and going about their business, there are a lot of people who you hear excited chatter. And you hear bits and pieces of people saying like, oh, it just arrived today. Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's so exciting. All the bright colors. And as you make your way towards the other part of the city, towards the lifts, you start to see people. You start to see people with very bright, colorful garb on. You see pennants and flags waving around. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just responding to what all you were saying.
Okay. Yes. You see people carrying items such as these bright flags. You see other little oddities here and there. You hear laughter and you hear people talking excitedly about something that you're not quite certain of. As you get to kind of the main thoroughfare of the entrance to down on the lower portion, you find a caravan has entered the city of Hopperduke. And it is about 10 wagons, and they all have very brightly colored like canvas cloth coverings. You see flags all over the place. You see performers. You see vendors who are beginning to unload and start to set up their wares. And you see all of this, and with this very kind of exotic looking group of people. They're
Dudden, show them your hat. You'll fit right in.
Aye, me hat? You mean what's already on me head?
That's the one.
These people will be jealous.
and you do spy a few people looking at your hat like, oh, that's a very nice hat. Yes.
Of course.
So, do you guys investigate this further, or do you
I
continue?
would want to see what this.
Most definitely.
I would say I would want to see what this is about.
Okay.
I'm be looking for like if they have anything they're selling.
Okay. You notice it doesn't appear that they have fully unloaded this caravan, but you do see scores of people who are part of this group, and they, like I said, they are brightly colored. This very kind of garishly, bright colors. Somebody roll an intelligence check for me. 2 people. Give me an intelligence check.
We'll do one.
Okay, Colin.
All right, I'll take one.
Jace.
Oh.
It's 18.
That was pretty good. What's my intelligence modifier?
Nothing.
I have 1. It's a 20. 19
Okay.
plus 1.
All right, so you looking at this caravan, you realize that a lot of the dress and things that you see are most likely from the Menagerie Coast.
Oh. Where? Never heard of it.
You know of the lands of
Mhm.
Exandria or of Wildmount.
Right.
You know a bit of geography, but you, like I said, you realize that these people have a look about them that they have traveled all the way from the Menagerie Coast. That is some sort of caravan
Okay.
coming from one of the port cities. If you know, as far as you can
Far
tell.
travelers, huh?
Okay. As you look, you see people. You see people performing in the streets. You see entertainers. You see. You hear music from several different areas as you pass by. As you do see, there are traveling bards as a part of this group. Rowan is taking this all in. And as you continue to look around, like I said, you do see carts that look like they may be unloading wares for a shop, but they're not. It looks like they probably arrived within the last hour, and are just now kind of getting in and getting settled. But there is a buzz, an excitement, and a hype in the air as the denizens of Hupperduke are excited by this kind of exotic atmosphere that has been brought by this caravan.
Thirdon would just walk up to the next one of these weirdly dressed people that he's seen and yank off his amazing pink hat and bow and be like, good day, fine sir. What is all this about?
He spies you as he's unloading, things from the back of a wagon and says, yes, absolutely. We're from Port Zune. We have brought a caravan of goods and wares, and we are looking forward to setting up and beginning to entertain the town, perform, if you will.
Perform? What
Yes,
do you
the
perform?
celebration. Well, we are a traveling troupe, and we are not only that, but we have also brought trade goods from Port Zune. This is a celebration, a sharing of knowledge.
Celebrating what?
Well, life.
I already lost me there. All right, well, it's above my head. I didn't. Anyway, you say you got
see,
wares to sell. I'll be
roll.
interested eventually.
Third and roll a perception check.
Oh, Lord. Okay, give me 15.
Okay, you see some of the things that this gentleman is unpacking are casks of exotic-looking ales.
You need some help?
Oh, I think, friend, I got it, but
I mean, I've
promise
got
there'll be-
two strong arms here. I can lift a whole lot for you.
he says, I see that, friend, but I see your interest lies within me goods here, but I'll tell you what. Here, first one's on the house, and he hands you this little flask kind of thing. Not fancy by any means. It's just kind of a little flask. He says, take a swig of that and come back this evening.
Hi, all right, you got yourself a deal.
He
I'm
said,
gonna just top this thing off all the way up.
yeah. He says, if you take the flask, bring it back, and I'll give you another one for free.
Aye, deal.
But if you drain
But
it,
it
you
ma-
could just give it back to him. So
Yeah, but then I wouldn't get another one for free.
there you go. And you
But then
do
perhaps
notice
we shouldn't
it's
just
pretty
drink
small,
things
so-
strangers give us.
Listen, cleric. I've only been poisoned once or twice. Okay, it
That is
works
surprising.
out most of the time.
Theoden, you do realize it is a sweet pungent, but very good ale. That is definitely something that you have not tasted before.
I just go ahead and stuff the empty flask, thinking about the next free one I'm going to get into my pack, and I'm like, all the gentlemen will be coming back tonight.
Let's then good. Let's not try to die while we go on our next adventure.
Oh yeah,
This will be the celebration to come back to.
and they said they would have some things to sell too, so I want to get my hands on a cask of that ale for down in. Yes, all right. Where were we going now?
Well, we were going to the Hearth Hammer, but perhaps we should see what kind of goods are being offered here.
They said they won't be set up till this evening, so maybe we should check in with old Wiltix and Brackle and see about this, if they know anything about this nonsense and what these guys could be peddling, all that good stuff.
Sure. Let's go see them.
Hey, Monk, you seem interested. You all right there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You seem to be an inquisitive one. I didn't know if you had any more questions for these gentlemen.
No, I'm more concerned about the wares. I would have, Lee would have gone and kind of gone to the bards and seen what type of stories they were singing about. If they were singing about just, because typically even the tall tales that are, saying to the children have some truth behind them.
Sure. So for now, they wander the streets, not more humming and playing their one's playing a lute and one's playing a pan flute and one's walking around with some kind of like maraca type things, like shaking them around and stuff, and they're just, like I said, they're just kind of drawing interest and hype and working the crowd a little bit to kind of get people excited for the coming festivities. So, as you all begin to look and wonder at this caravan arrived from the Menagerie Coast, we are going to end the session early for the evening, as there's much to explore. And I know not only are we down one
of course,
Rowan, but we also have a few that are feeling a little under the weather. So
yeah.
Yes. So we will end there for the evening, but we thank you all for joining us. Thank you for coming over from the raid, and of course, Heels, thank you for the raid.
My pleasure.
I think we look forward to including everyone from the raid if this is becomes a normal occurrence. And Noodle, it is not a Princess Bride reference. It is from Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, which is where our adventure started. We are in the city of Hupperduke in Wildmount. So it is a gnomish city, spelled as Dr. Heels put it in the chat.
Should have rolled your fake die there, Dr. Heels. I rolled like 2 nat 20s out of 3 rolls there. I should have been rolling this thing instead of all these garbage d20s I'm surrounded by.
Right.
Once again, there are links in the chat for all of the Hearth and Hammer social media accounts. We have Twitter. We have, find us at twitter.com/Hearth and Hammer. If you want to look for us on Instagram or TikTok, make sure you type Hearth and Hammer D&D because it is specific there. You can also find a link to YouTube. We would very much appreciate a follow there so that we can grow that enough and get our custom URL. And we would just appreciate your patronage there. Also, where can people find all of our cast? Jace, where can people find you?
Yeah. So you can find me right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Dr. Heels. Also, I have 2 different YouTube channels, youtube.com/Dr. Heels and youtube.com/ThatBoldLife. Check out any of those places.
Awesome. And Theoden, where can people find you?
Most days can be found here on twitch.tv/Reborn Crusader. As soon as I get my computer fixed, I'll be back to streaming. Other than that, that's pretty much the only place I'm at.
All right.
I'm excited to start watching your Minecraft playthroughs there, Michael. It's gonna be.
I've actually been
Really?
debating about going to Minecraft. I'm horrible at the game, but you know.
I wanted to do like hard modded Minecraft, like pixel
Yeah,
mod and stuff.
Sure. I have that installed actually, so it's
never tried
it's interesting.
I have to buy the Java version.
Yeah, see, I have it. So, Pete,
I am on Twitter at Colin Kelsey 2 and on Instagram at Colin Kelsey Productions.
fantastic, and Lee.
On Instagram at Noah Drew Maps.
Perfect. And then you can find our own bard, Rowan, on Twitter. He is at _AustinLCG. And you can find myself, Seth, at WhiteFoxSG on Twitter and on Twitch as well. I have fired it up again, and I think I'm going to be playing some Pokemon Unite. Maybe some Apex occasionally, but I've been really into Pokemon Unite lately, so
Nice.
I watched a stream the other night. Pretty fun.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So,
I'll have to give it a shot.
absolutely, absolutely. Also, I may do some streams of some D&D prep here and there. We'll see.
All
Maybe not
right.
for you guys. I can't let you guys in on the secrets, but
I
will be
know.
watching those as a different user.
I was just thinking the same
Right?
thing.
that's okay.
Log in on Mrs. Reborn's account.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
I've
I
thought of
also
doing the
may
same
do
thing in
some other
Masquerade's thing.
stuff because I think I'm going to start preparing some RPG related stuff for the boys.
Cool.
And
Nice,
then I
yeah.
have another project that I am going to do for my tabletop RPG or my tabletop group for Battletech, actually. So
Nice.
anyway, but thank you all again for joining us. Thank you for the listeners at home or the viewers later. And we love you and thank you and good night and God bless.
God bless.